Hello Gemini, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. This is your reading for the next 7 days from around the 5th, 6th of September, or for whenever you come across it. It's a bit of a free form reading, and I'm just mixing it up a little bit. Gemini, this is your energy. You come through with my hedonist in reverse. Pleasure, pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. And it's with the Knight of Cups and the Sun card here. The Knight of Cups from my Mythic Tarot deck. So this is like looking for love, but always looking for the next love. The Knight of Cups is in love with love. The honeymoon stage, the very early stages, the early stages of courtship, that sort of thing. It never really gets beyond that for him because it's never quite enough, basically. And in fact, I do have that is something that you might be looking at, Gemini. You do have the not enough card in reverse, and in its upright position it is frustrated in relationships, lacks confidence, self-sabotage, fear, ego issues and jealousy. I don't read these in reverse in the main, but it did seem appropriate in that where you need to move from is a place of never having enough to understanding what enough looks like, because you do have the soulmate cards, which is the soul connection, partnership, and the love call, expressing your love to someone. Someone is thinking of you and letting you know. With the Sun card here, this row is spot on. Perseus is a lovely character, basically. He's just motivated by love, but as I say, he, as a true sort of romantic spirit, he likes to think of himself as a champion of women in distress, a worshipper of love and beauty and truth, a defender of high ideals, and yet he's never quite satisfied because he has a lot of issues. He's had a lot of women, and the women he's dealt with, he's seen the light side of them and the dark side of them. He's a very good boy in that he's very protective of his own mother, Danny, and I think his own grandfather even tried to kill him at one point because there was obviously some sort of prophecy. There always is. He's obviously a son of Zeus, as they all are. And yeah, he gets sent on hopeless quests to, in fact, I think he had to obtain the head of Medusa at one point. Oh, pudding, please. But he does actually do that. He's very protected in his pursuits because he's a good character. Genuinely, he's a good character. Don't, no. Oh my gosh. This is my scabby cat. He's a scabby cat at the minute. He's got to that age. Anyway, so yeah, there's a feeling of just continually, you're like on the karmic wheel here, just continually pursuing love, and it never quite matches your expectations, but you take what you can from it, you indulge yourself and have enormous fun with the whole thing. But at the same time here, Gemini, I don't think it's bringing any great satisfaction. We do have the Knight here, which is be brave and honest. And he does have a tear running down his face here. This is telling you need to do the right thing in a situation, and it's not always the easiest option to stand up for what you know to be right and to be true. You're just kind of being encouraged to take a stand in some respect, follow through with your own integrity. And with the hedonist in reverse, that would suggest a lack of integrity. And maybe that's something that you're having to realise about yourself, and it's not particularly pleasant and may even be bringing you some sort of sadness here. But this card is also about bringing justice to a situation. Either you're longing for justice, and maybe that if you've made any sort of mistakes, you are now in a position where you're prepared to take, what's the word? Ownership of them. And what you need to be brave and honest about is the 8 of Wands in reverse. Now, normally this is about lack of communication, miscommunication, block communication. It can obviously all be that. But in my Mythic Tarot, this is very much not freeing yourself from a situation, because this is Jason escaping. So this is not being able to escape from, you know, a certain kind of mentality. You've always treated yourself very well, maybe at the expense of others. You've always fulfilled your own needs first and foremost. And that's maybe, Gemini, what you need to be honest about here, because it sort of feels like this is keeping you stuck. It's almost like with the shaman being in reverse, and I don't normally read these in reverse, but I'm doing slightly different readings. Trust in higher powers is like a lack of trust. And I do have an emperor in reverse here. So this may be you. It may be your father, you know, a boss. This feels like a lack of guidance. You may feel that you've not been guided properly in life from a father, from a boss, or whatever. You know, ultimately, it doesn't matter. At some point in life, you have to become your own parents, do we not? And this is that you need to do some release work with lower energies, or your own lack of trust, your own loss of power. Have you given your power away to someone? Do you feel powerless? Why do you feel powerless? That's what you need to be brave and honest about to get the shaman in upright. And with the Ten of Cups in reverse here, so this can be like a broken marriage. You may be from even a broken home with the Emperor in reverse here. You may be a feminine that I'm reading for here, and this is your masculine in reverse here. But there is there's a breakup with the Ten of Cups in reverse. It's like it's a broken marriage. It's empty nest syndrome. It's family problems regarding a masculine. Whether you're the masculine or whether this is the person you're dealing with here. It's something that you need to be brave and honest in terms of addressing, to take back control, to regain trust. At least trust in oneself, which is really all we can ever obtain. And if you get that, you're never going to be so utterly shaken by events in your life that you cannot recover from. I do feel with this combination, my Bodacious Bodak, so I've got my Emperor in reverse, I've got my Bodacious Bodak. This is my troublesome old man, basically. This is sort of trying to put things right. In his upright position, he has probably self-sabotaged something, not even just for himself, but for other people, just for shits and giggles, because that's what he does. But it is a union. It's to do with a long-term relationship. Got the Master Maker here. Master Maker with the Ten of Cups in reverse. This is trying to put right something that's been broken. And probably a very long-term union. I don't honestly feel I'm reading for the Emperor in reverse. I feel I'm reading for the Knight of Cups, because that's the first energy to come out. So that's my significator. I do think this is a masculine you're connected with, and it would probably be a father or a grandfather. And specifically with the Knight of Cups being Perseus, and his own grandfather, you know, tried to kill him. Because there was this, you know, Oracle of Delphi prophecy that Danny's boy would ultimately kill his father. So this may be an issue you have with your own father or with your grandfather. Now we do have a Queen of Wands at the base of the deck here. This is Queen Penelope and the Tower. So this again could be your energy or a feminine you're connecting with. Penelope, can't remember her husband's name, but he went off to do battle, as they do, and Penelope was beset by literally hundreds of suitors, and she was smart as a tack, and she never ever believed that her husband was dead, even though they told her that he was, and she had to take another husband, because she literally ruled the kingdom whilst her man was off. Odysseus, that's his name, went off to the Trojan War. So she came up with numerous excuses as to why she, you know, wouldn't take another lover, wouldn't take another husband, etc. She was incredibly loyal, and she, you know, she was upright, wasn't she? So, you know, this could be your mother, this could be your person, this could be you. She just knows intuitively that her man will return. Odysseus will return, and ultimately he did. She's a very practical person. She's a bit of a superwoman, really. She's incredibly loyal, as I say, especially in love and relationships, and especially to her husband. She really, nobody else could match Odysseus, and she waited for him, and he did ultimately return. She's at the base of the deck. That may be someone you're connected with. I've clarified her with Indy and Epona's daughter in reverse here. So there's indecision about this person, basically. This has been really wishy-washy, very in and out. This is not the Queen of Wands upright. Absolutely not the Queen of Wands. This is Gemini. You is the Knight of Cups, or, you know, switch it. But it's not the Queen of Wands. She does not do wishy-washy. This is you or someone you're connected with being indecisive about her, being afraid to make any sort of decision in case it's the wrong one. There's the lack of confidence here, and yet not making that decision is keeping someone in this nightmarish situation, especially with Epona's wild daughter in reverse here. In its upright position, it's tough enough. In its reverse, it's something that seriously needs attention. There's something very deep within oneself that is not allowing you to move forward, make progress in your life. This can even be depression, madness, a complete denial of a situation. And it is connected with this Queen of Wands. So, Gemini, that's your reading. I'm going to take some advice here. Advice for Gemini for the next 7 days, please, Spirit. Advice for Gemini for the next 7 days. I do really feel this is a family situation. It might be like you, mum and dad, maybe your own partner. Advice for Gemini for the next 7 days, please, Spirit, for my Knight of Cups. Block. Not sure that's entirely rejection, but I do have the Quest card in reverse, Gemini, and this is how you stop searching. The Knight of Cups, as I say, is always on the move, and he's always looking for the perfect love. It's always round the next corner. It's always dissatisfying, and ultimately it's taking advantage of other people here. You do seem to have the possibility of a real partnership here with the soulmates, and that's what you need to be honest about. So there might have been some blockages, there may have been some rejection. That's what the Eight of Wands is in reverse. Block communication, miscommunication, not being able to move on from this. I don't see how that's helpful in terms of advice though. How is that helpful in terms of advice? And maybe it's just telling you your blockages come from the fact that there has been rejection in your life, not necessarily from, you know, a romantic partner, but maybe, you know, from your father or from your mother. Whatever it may be, there's rejection here. It's creating blocks. Advice though for this rejection, please, Spirit. Advice for Gemini. For rejection. Advice for Gemini. Okay. Connections in reverse. So Sylvanius is the mask of truth here. This is about cutting through deception. So I'm coming back to the brave knight here. Be brave and honest. This is removing your own mask, looking at yourself honestly, and getting some clarity as to why you have blocks around rejection. Maybe you reject people before they reject you. Maybe you've been rejected and it's been so soul destroying that the relationships you're now entertaining are all very superficial. It's like, yeah, with hedonist and the sun, it's like short-term hits, you know. A bit like my Libra reading, but not quite as severe. But we've got Penelope here. It's Penelope? It's not Penelope. Why am I saying that? Iris. Iris is about potential growth, really. This is asking you what needs to be released, what do you need to look at to regain hope in your life. She's also telling you that the worst is behind you, that even though, you know, you have to maybe exercise some patience in dealing whatever this time is for you, it will be ultimately positive. It's not saying that all the troubles are going to be behind you. It's saying that the bulk of them are behind you, and there is an opportunity here for a little bit of relief, really, if you are able to learn from the past, from your tough passage, if you're able to move on from whatever has created these blockages in your life. But that will come from being brave and honest with yourself and with others. Gemini, that's your reading for the next 7 days. Please like, subscribe, look after yourself. Talk to you soon.